Are you ready?
Let's dive into the politics of the runway. From iconic leaders to surprising concepts, RuPaul's Drag Race serves up some surprising political references. First up, some fierce looks inspired by iconic political leaders and groups.
Yowza, Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln was the 16th president of the United States from 1861 to 1865. Here, Katya wore an outfit similar to his look, and as Ru noted, the beard is on point.
Always be Candy News, bitch.
Condoleezza.
Condoleezza Rice is an American diplomat and former Secretary of State under President Bush. Here, Ru makes a pun about Candy's drag name.
Dick Cheney's daughter?
She's one of the Cheneys, Mrs. Cheney.
Dick Cheney served as the 46th Vice President of the United States under President George W. Bush. He has two daughters, the most famous of which is Liz Cheney. She's known for her criticism of Donald Trump, especially after the January 6th Capitol riot. Here, Ru focuses on Mistress's look, especially the chains she's wearing.
George Washington. I'll do it better. George W. Bush.
Well, she's a Bush supporter.
Very Republican lady,
Very
George
Republican.
Bush.
George Bush.
George Washington was the first president of the United States. He is often referred to as the father of his country. George Bush can refer to two U.S. presidents. George H.W. Bush, who served as the 41st president from 1989 to 1993, and his son George W. Bush, who served as the 43rd president from 2001 to 2009. So, Gorge.
Don't you mean Lady Bird, Michaels?
Very Marcus Bachman
Ooh.
in his dreams.
Yes, in his dreams.
Lady Bird Johnson was the First Lady of the United States from 1963 to 1969. Marcus Bachman is an American clinical therapist and the husband of former U.S. Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann. He gained media attention for his counseling practice and his views on homosexuality, which have sparked controversy. Check out this.
Which is why my husband Marcus and I run a clinic to help people unchoose to be gay. My husband can explain.
Listen, we believe that all Americans must commit themselves to heterosexual behavior for the sake of the future of America, which is why I teach homosexuals that just because they're born that way doesn't mean they have to stay that way. God has a plan for everyone, and sometimes he tricks you into thinking you like other men. It's just a trick. God loves pranks. And why would you love men when you have this?
Betsy Ross Matthews.
Betsy Ross, Dress for Less.
The other Miss Ross, Betsy.
Betsy Ross is an American historical figure traditionally credited with sewing the first American flag in 1776 at the request of George Washington.
Miss Bouvier, you stay. Now, most people don't know this, but she's actually Jacqueline Bouvier Cox.
Very jockey Onassis.
Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis was the First Lady of the United States from 1961 to 1963 as the wife of President John F. Kennedy, known for her elegance, style, and efforts to restore the White House. She also had a passion for horseback riding.
From Maxine Waters to Salty Water.
Maxine Waters is a long-serving Democratic U.S. Congresswoman from California, known for her outspoken advocacy on several issues.
Sarah Palin. She can see Russia from her house.
All the other queens were Sarah Palin in comparison. Get it, Alaska.
Yeah, got it. Got it.
Oh.
Sarah Palin served as the governor of Alaska from 2006 to 2009. She gained national attention as the Republican vice presidential candidate in the 2008 U.S. election.
She's very Nancy Pelosi, but see, she can move her forehead. And Mary J. Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi served as Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, the first woman to hold that position.
Eat your heart out, Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama is the former First Lady of the United States from 2009 to 2017. She is known for her advocacy on education, health, and women's rights.
It's Rose Kennedy Davenport.
Yes, honey.
Rose Fitzgerald Kennedy was the matriarch of the Kennedy family, known for raising 9 children, including U.S. President John F. Kennedy and Senators Robert and Ted Kennedy.
She's like a cross between Ginger Grant and Ulysses S. Grant.
Ulysses S. Grant was the 18th President of the United States and a commanding general during the American Civil War.
Talk about a John Hancock, or lack thereof.
She's cross-dressing the Delaware.
John Hancock was a prominent patriot of the American Revolution, best known as the first signer of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. While the crossing of the Delaware was a pivotal event during the American Revolutionary War on December 25th to 26th, 1776, when George Washington led Army troops across the icy Delaware River.
Ooh, Black Panther on the runway.
Oh, yes, there is an actual panther on the runway.
The Black Panthers were a political group founded in 1966 in the United States. They were formed to fight police brutality and racial inequality in African American communities. They advocated for Black empowerment, self-defense, and social justice.
I think she's a member of the Green Party.
The Green Party of the United States is a political party dedicated to environmental sustainability, social justice, grassroots democracy, and nonviolence.
The First Lady of Drag.
The First Lady is the title typically given to the wife of the President of the United States. She often takes on public roles in charitable, social, or political causes. As of today, Jill Biden is the First Lady.
Well, she's giving us Speaker of the House.
The Speaker of the House is the leader of the U.S. House of Representatives. They manage meetings, make sure rules are followed, and help decide what laws will be discussed. Now let's explore some of the key political concepts and events that have transformed the runway into a vibrant stage for critical social commentary.
Another bleeding heart liberal.
The term bleeding heart liberal was first used as an insult in 1938 by a writer named Westbrook Pegler. He used it to mock liberals for caring too much about issues like stopping lynching. Over time, conservatives kept using the term to criticize liberals, but many liberals began to embrace it. For instance, a group of artists donated their blood to create a protest painting against Donald Trump's election, showing pride in their advocacy for social causes.
Is this the blue wave that Chuck Todd was expecting in 2020?
In the 2020 election, people expected a blue wave, where Democrats would win big across the country. Joe Biden became president, but Democrats didn't perform as well as predicted in other races. Political commentators, like Chuck Todd, discussed how the results didn't match what the polls suggested.
Who are you wearing? Oh, wait, don't ask, don't tell.
Exactly. Don't ask, do tell.
The Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy allowed LGBTQ+ individuals to serve in the military, but they had to hide their sexual orientation. Obama ended the policy in 2011.
Lucky for these girls, it's Fleet Week.
I'm gonna let Carrie Bradshaw explain that one for you.
Fleet Week is that 1 week a year when the U.S. naval ships dock and our fair city is made even fairer with cute, sweet American sailors looking for fun.
Working the Beltway.
Hey.
Working the Beltway means influencing government decisions in Washington, D.C. It's about building relationships to push for certain policies or interests.
In all black, she's courting the black vote.
Calling the black vote means trying to get black people to vote in elections. It often means talking about things that matter to black communities, like racial justice, economic equality, and civil rights. This shows how powerful black voters can be in elections.
Now that's what I call a war chest.
In politics, a war chest is money saved up for an election campaign or future political battles. It pays for ads, outreach, and other campaign costs to help win elections.
Her ballot box is stuffed.
A stuffed ballot box is when extra votes are added to a ballot box to change the outcome of an election. But thanks to this Ellen's parody video, we know the difference between what is and isn't a ballot box.
I heard politically she leans left.
Leaning left means supporting ideas like social equality, more government help for people, and fairness in the economy.
Black Lives Matter, y'all. You know what? Black thighs matter.
Black Lives Matter is a social movement that began in 2013 to address racism against black people. It aims to protect black people and challenge the injustices they face. The movement says that while all lives matter, black lives are affected more by violence and inequality. They deserve more attention to achieve justice and equality.
Meet you at the Watergate for lunch.
The Watergate scandal was a big political crisis in the U.S. in the 1970s. It started with a break-in at the Democratic Party's offices. People working for President Nixon were involved and tried to cover it up.
It's very drag inauguration ball.
It is!
An inaugural ball gown is the formal dress worn by the First Lady of the United States at the inaugural ball, held to celebrate the new president's inauguration. This gown is often a fashion statement, reflecting style and symbolism. The dress is designed by famous designers and becomes part of American fashion history.
Yes, she's headed to the What's the Tea Party.
The Tea Party is a conservative movement that emerged in 2009. It advocates for limited government, lower taxes, and reducing the national debt. It became very influential in the Republican Party, especially in opposing President Obama's healthcare reform.
I pledge allegiance to the drag.
I pledge allegiance to the drag.
I pledge allegiance is a formal expression of loyalty to the flag and the United States. It shows a commitment to unity, liberty, and justice under the government. Finally, the judges used political puns to add layers of meaning and humor to our queen's catwalk looks.
She's got this election all tied up.
Got this election all tied up means someone is sure they'll win. It means they have enough support and can't lose.
Lock her up. Lock her up.
Trump supporters chanted "Lock her up" during the 2016 election, accusing Hillary Clinton of criminal wrongdoing, particularly over her use of a private email server. Now the phrase is "lock him up," used by critics of Donald Trump, referencing his legal battles and indictments. The shift shows how political rhetoric can be used against different figures depending on their legal and public controversies.
Oh, yes, she's walking the party line, darling.
Work it out.
Don't it make your red state blue?
Make your red state blue means changing a state that usually votes Republican to vote for Democrats. It's about getting people to vote for the other party. This is done through campaigns and talking to people before elections.
Yes, honey, throw your hands in the air like Medicare.
Throw your hands in the air like you don't care means to raise your arms and move them freely. While Medicare is a government healthcare program in the United States, it provides access to healthcare services. It covers hospital stays and doctor visits for older adults and vulnerable people.
Yes, she can.
Yes, he can is a variation of Barack Obama's famous "Yes, we can" slogan from his 2008 presidential run.
Alaska. Oh dear, I can see Russia from here.
Is that Sarah Palin in that dress?
It's Saran Palin.
The phrase "I can see Russia from my house" became popular after Tina Fey said it on Saturday Night Live. The joke was that Palin said Alaska is close to Russia, so living close to a country means having foreign policy expertise.
And I can see Russia from my house.
If Hillary would have worn this pantsuit, she would have won.
Thank you.
The phrase "if Hillary had, she would have won" refers to hypothetical discussions about actions or decisions that, had Hillary Clinton made them during her 2016 presidential campaign, might have led to her victory.
Makes me want to show up to the polls, if you know what I mean.
Make me want to show up to the polls means motivating someone to vote. It means that something has made people want to vote.
She's putting her money where her mouth is.
She sure is.
Putting her money where her mouth is means backing up your words with money. It means doing what you say, not just talking. Here, Carson is using the name Putin instead of the verb putting.
America the Bootiful. Sing America the Bootiful.
America the Beautiful is a patriotic song about the United States. It shows thanks for freedom and asks for more blessings and unity. Ru plays with the word beautiful by including the booty. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to like, comment your favorite reference, and share the video.